What's up? What's up? Beautiful clean child of God. Welcome on board. If you have been searching for peace, well, search no more, because the peace and love that comes from God, my friend. This one, you don't need to chase it. No, because my friend, this one love is for us all, and it is given to us through Him. And even when life feels chaotic, His presence, my friend, offers some calmness that the world we live in can't give today. So, my friend, is why every day we gather here to remind one another of the steady, unshakable, and always available love and peace of God. Just like the word of wisdom from the book of life tells us today, coming from the book of John, chapter 14, verse 27. Peace, peace I live with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. That's what the word is telling us today. Let's give thanks to the wonderful Creator for peace and love. Thank you, Father, for good day. Thank you for your precious child, today's viewer. Thank you for the words from the book of wisdom, Father. Thank you for your peace and joy, Father. Fill us with your love through this video and help us to spread love and positivity to the whole world together with your child, Father. Thank you for the blessings you shall pass to this viewer. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Child of God, be blessed as you dive in. Hey, look at these crowds. These are not crowds.
Here's the reasons why it's a hoax. He left matches at the site, okay? He left matches at the site. You can see that here, right? Also, when he starts using you can hear the clicking sound of when he turns on the torch to burn the leaves because he keeps moving away, right? Right? And then he does it again, but this time he realizes I got a silver little block, basically the comet, right? Or the meteorite. So I'm going to heat that up. And you can actually see the light
What?
emanating
Oh.
emanating on the rock itself, right? Check this out. You can see it slightly coming on. And also you can hear the clicks. Every time he clicks it on, it
This is
burned
the
the
magic
rock so
stone,
he can come
the
back to the
meteorite that
camera
fell from
and
out
show
of
you
space allegedly.
as he pushes on there. Of course, it's
My
going to be
friends,
hot,
this
right?
one is
It's
believed to have
affecting the
special
thing, and of
powers.
course,
You can
it
see what
only
it
stays hot for a
is doing to
temporary
this
time,
leaf.
not long, right? Also, when he's inside his new cellar per se, and multiple times before he moved there, right? Before he moved, you hear this like a string tightening, ding. Here's that sound. And then another footage, the same premise. You hear the sound of the string tightening before this thing moves. It starts moving. So that's why I'm saying that this thing is totally a hoax, because I'm showing you the evidence on why it is. Show this or send this to somebody that is still on the battle lines of trying to figure out what this is.
What? Wow. These are strange times we are living in, my friends.
And Brian. No.
Yeah, it's inside.
Inside. Inside. Oh, no. It's in the truck.
You gotta eat food.
Hey, that's our food. No. Buddy, that's our food.
Take our bag.
Oh. Hey,
No, don't.
don't approach.
I wouldn't mess with them.
Hey. Don't approach, Brian.
No.
I don't know what was in that, but
It's okay.
stay.
Look.
Well, goodbye. Whatever was in there.
What's in it?
I don't know, but it's our food.
Get their food out of there now. Well, you can.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
They replaced a sibling with a baby chimp as part of a wildly controversial experiment, but they never expected the results they got. In the 1930s, two psychologists had a child and raised him alongside a chimp named Gua. The plan was to raise the two the exact same way, as brother and sister, and treat the chimp as if it were a human. The goal was to see if the chimp would become more human if it were raised exactly like a human, but they were in for a surprise. The two had the same clothes, same toys, same schedule, punished the same way. For 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, the two were lab rats and had a lot of very questionable tests run on them, like testing their response to a loud sound by firing a pistol right behind them. Daily tests were run for 9 months before they called it quits because the experiment was backfiring. Gua wasn't becoming more human at all. Instead, the child was becoming more chimp-like. The child had a regression in language and was instead imitating chimp noises. He even had a distinctive grunting noise when food appeared. Donald grew up to be a psychiatrist, but took his own life at the age of 42.
We have in Lockheed right now, there are craft that can go to Mars in a few hours. Right now in Lockheed.
So how do you know what they have at JPL? How do you know they have...
Not JPL, Lockheed.
Lockheed. How do you know that Lockheed has this technology that we can get to Mars in a couple hours?
Lockheed has, I think, some assets in Nevada, but they have a lot of corporate facilities in California, in the state of California. And supposedly there is this shack on the side of a highway in California that looks like some nondescript warehouse, small warehouse. And you go into this warehouse, and the whole floor of the warehouse is an elevator. And it drops Lord knows how many hundreds of feet, and you're inside of a, basically a facility carved out of rock, deep underground.
Yeah.
And what this guy said is that they are not only reverse engineering craft from retrieved debris in this facility, but they're actually training pilots to fly them. And he told me that the main problem that they have in that training program is that the pilots experience extreme disorientation because of the warping of space-time by these craft. In other words, they discovered early on, and this is, I think, one of the main reasons, and we can get into this in much more depth if you want.
Division.
This is one of the main reasons this technology is being hidden, because they discovered very early on that these are not simply devices with propulsion systems capable of navigating space very quickly. Like they can take you from New York to Australia and, you know, right? They're flying time machines. They warp time as they traverse space.
Right.
And our pilots don't know how to handle that. They have a very hard time. They get disoriented, temporally disoriented. They get like, their sense of the passage of time gets really messed with. So anyway, he told me he went down into this facility and that they're reverse engineering stuff and that they're trying to train pilots in how to fly these reverse engineered zero-point energy craft. But okay, what's the really important thing about that is that on a theoretical level about how UFOs are actually time machines. And if you really stop and think through that carefully, you realize why under the current socio-political conditions, this technology can't be released. With the kind of society we have, domestically, globally, with the state that humanity is in at the present time, the release of that kind of technology into the public sphere would be utterly catastrophic, right? I mean, you can't give Tom, Dick, and Harry a time machine to put in their garage. You see, that's the thing. It's not like these are Jetsons cars that just, you know, fly you across country really fast. They allow you to traverse different epochs in human history. And I think one of the reasons that our history is so messed up, you know, when you look at these really regressive, tyrannical religious belief systems and the kinds of political structures that formed around them and that were fortified by them, I think a lot of what's going on there is that our timeline has been manipulated. It's been manipulated at all junctures from the present far into the future.
Wow, my friends, all this is for entertainment purposes, but mind-blowing
All right, so Lockheed
information.
Martin dropped a teaser trailer on their X account today on September 20th of 2025, referencing their Skunkworks emoji, which is Lockheed Martin's Skunkworks division known for secretive and advanced aerospace projects like the U-2 reconnaissance aircraft, the SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-117 Nighthawk stealth bomber, for example. Just to give you an idea, if anybody has UFO technology, it's probably Lockheed Martin's Skunkworks division. Now, they just dropped this trailer on their X account, which leads me to believe that maybe they've got something coming that they're going to be unveiling soon, potentially a next generation aircraft or propulsion system, maybe some anti-gravity stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd like to know what everyone out there thinks. Do you think that they're about to drop some crazy UFO technology on us and be like, hey, turns out we did have it after all?
This could be what the previous guy was talking about, my friends. Some pretty mind-blowing stuff going on in the world, hidden beneath our eyes. What we can see, my friends, but it's all for entertainment purposes. If you think about it, research, tell us in the comments. But look at this now. Whoa, my friends. This, wow. Yeah. I would want one of those, to be honest. That robot looks cool.
Facts about cats. Your cat knows its name, it's just choosing to ignore you. Cameras have been set up in cat owners' homes, and upon review, it's very common for cats to go and stare at their owner's face for hours while they're sleeping.
That is absolutely horrifying.
Cats have a silent meow that humans can't hear, but it's a distress call for other cats. If your cat brings you prey, it's probably because it thinks you're an oversized, clumsy kitten that can't hunt for itself. Cats purring doesn't always mean that they're happy. They also purr when they're injured and often at the time that they die. Purr at a frequency, though, that is legitimately healing.
Look at all this stuff that purring does for the body.
If your cat slow blinks at you, it means it loves you, but if it stares wide open, then it might be threatening you. Your cat's bacteria could be slowly eating your brain. Cats can hear ultrasonic frequency, so if they're staring at the wall, they might not just be being dumb, they might be listening to all of the mices in the wall plotting to destroy you. Please drop a picture of your cat. I want to see them all.
This is my kitty. I just got named Tulip, but we just called her Kitty. She was found in a tire.
Okay, I have what's realistically probably an autistic hyperfixation on the US government, which means that I spent the last 26 years of my life studying declassified FBI and CIA documents for fun. And if you understand these three concepts, you will probably know more about politics than the average person walking around the world today. So let's get into what they are. Number one, first and foremost, you need to understand that there is absolutely nothing the United States government would not do if it thought that it would advance its interests politically, militaristically, or economically. No act is too depraved. No death toll is too high. We would do absolutely anything. The example I always give people of this is that the United States seriously considered bombing Miami just so we could blame it on Cuba and use it as justification to overthrow their government. We did not reject this idea because we thought it was ethically bad. We rejected it because we decided it was not strategically advantageous. So you need to really understand this. Nothing is too far for the United States government. This also includes propaganda. The propaganda reaches way further than you even can imagine. Major news outlets, independent student zines. The US government will spend billions and billions and billions of dollars every single year on disinformation campaigns to control the narrative so you believe what's advantageous for them to believe. It sounds conspiratorial. It sounds like something kooky people who wear tinfoil hats would say. It is true. The tinfoil hat people are right. This is all fact. Okay, number two, the US government is not particularly creative. There are a few playbooks with a few plays in them, and we stick to them and repeat them over and over and over again. And once you learn what those plays look like, you cannot help but see them around you in real time constantly. The best example I give of this is something I call big bad, not our guys. This happens when another country has a resource that we want and they will not give it to us. The first thing we will do is utilize those propaganda networks to spread a lot of bad information about the leader of that country. We will blow him up into what we call a big bad. He is an evil man doing evil things. He is a bad person. Sometimes we will outright lie in the pursuit of this. We will make it look like he is committing massive human rights abuses. Sometimes we will find key social issues that maybe he is not super progressive on, and we will push forward a narrative about those social issues that advances our own causes. Even as we are not particularly progressive about social issues here at home, We will throw everything we can at making that person, that leader of that country, or just that country in general, their government structure, into a big bad. Simultaneously, we will find people in that country who might be sympathetic to the American business cause there, or who are willing to do anything for the right price. And we will funnel them massive amounts of money, weapons, and training, even sometimes training right here on domestic US soil, in order to convince them to stage a coup and overthrow the government of that country, then install a new government in its place, usually with those people or people who are sympathetic to their cause, who happen to conveniently act as a puppet government doing the US's bidding. Now, all of a sudden, we get access to all of the resources we wanted in that country that the previous government administration would not give us. But we are not liable for it because we did not go in as the US government or as the US military to overthrow them. The people who did that, those are not our guys. They're just some random people. Even though in actuality, they're not random people. They are our guys and we paid them to do this. Okay, number 3, this is going to be the one that upsets most of you, but it's true. Pretty much all of contemporary American political history can be summed up as a battle between fascism and communism. Fascism is not just scary thing you don't like. It is a specific political and economic system. Just like capitalism is, just like communism is, so is fascism. The thing about fascism, though, is that where communism is bad for capitalism, it's bad for Western business. Fascism is actually advantageous economically for Western business. Capitalism can profit off of fascism. Because of that, capitalists will condone and facilitate fascism whenever they can. Communism, however, does not profit from fascism. And that is why historically it is communists that have always defeated fascism. We saw this in Italy, we saw this in Germany. And if you're an American and you're thinking, wait a minute, I thought the USA defeated Nazi Germany, Nazis were fascists, you are wrong. It was the USSR, and you only believe that because of the first thing I mentioned, the propaganda networks. In fact, the United States did not want to fight Nazi Germany, and we only ended up joining the war against Germany because Germany attacked Britain, who was one of our allies, so we were contractually obligated to join. The USSR actually tried to get capitalist countries to join them in fighting the fascists in Germany, and we all said no. Following World War II, the communists attempted to catch and prosecute all of the Nazis from Germany, and the capitalist countries, including the United States, gave them safe passage to avoid being held liable for their crimes and set them up with new cushy government jobs here in the United States. That was under something we called Operation Paperclip. Now, because the United States does not actually mind fascism, and in many ways we envy it, we will attempt to ideologically distance ourselves from fascism because it is a bad look by trying to confuse and muddy the narrative and claim that fascists and communists are somehow the same, even though this is factually untrue, and communists, again, are the only force in history, historically, who consistently has stood up against fascism. In fact, we in the United States will often use fascists in other countries as examples of not our guys, give them massive amounts of money and weapons and training, and use them to help do things in their home countries that we consider politically and economically advantageous for us to continue to profit off of. All of modern human history can best be described as the communists attempting to defeat the fascists, while the capitalists look on and go, oh no! Publicly condemning it, but assisting fascism behind closed doors. Full disclosure, I am a communist. I'm not telling you this though, because I am a communist. I became a communist after I learned about this. In the fight between fascism and communism, do you choose to be a fascist, a communist, or somebody standing on the sidelines going, oh no, while not actually materially doing anything that impedes fascism from spreading or growing? If you wonder why the United States government does not seem that upset at stopping the advancement of fascism internationally or at home, this narrative will help you understand exactly why. We don't want to. We profit off of it. Because the communists are the only ones that do not profit off of it, they are the only ones actively trying to defeat it. If you understand these 3 things about politics, you will know more than the average person walking around the world today. But fair warning, when you tell them, they will look at you like you are out of your mind. Because if there is one thing the United States does well, it's propaganda. Business is booming.
Very interesting, my friend. Everyone is allowed to have their opinion, but it's not always right.
That might actually come near hitting us. So a lot of people have been studying Comet 3I Atlas that's headed towards Earth, and that'll be passing between Mars and Earth coming up here. But a lot of people don't know that there's a comet called C2025R2, known as the Swan Comet. That will pass super close to Earth sometime in October. You should actually be able to see the Swan Comet right now in the night sky. So that comet will be so close it'll be 0.26 astronomical units from Earth. So let's take a look at what the Swan Comet looks like, because they thought initially this thing might actually hit Earth. So here's a newer image of the Swan Comet as it passes by a star in the background. And you can see it's glowing green. It's got a very long tail. This comet will come between 0 and 0.26 astronomical units from Earth, meaning this will be one of the closest comets to pass Earth that's ever been recorded. However, most people are not aware of it because of all the fervor with Comet 3I Atlas. However, this comet, people thought, like I said, initially that it was going to hit our planet. Now, here's a wider image of it. They don't expect this comet to hit us. Like I said, it should be about 0.25 or so astronomical units away, which is still very close for a comet. So that's the Swan Comet that was expected to hit Earth and now will be less than 1 astronomical unit away, 0.25 astronomical units. Oh, and if you don't know, an astronomical unit is one distance between the Earth and the Sun, approximately 93 million miles.